Taurus, sun, moon, and rising sign. There is something about this month that's just going to feel really good for the simple reason that Venus is in your sign. This can be an improvement or an extension of your work success. You are charming and people like you. It's a good time to put yourself out there for dating, for applying for a job, for getting something that you yearn for. And this is a better month than a lot of months behind you, so you should enjoy that. Feeling of freedom, breaking free, breaking through. Those are kinds of the themes that I'm seeing here. You might be the maker of your own luck. This could be somebody definitely that you think is a friend, right? But they're not really your friend. And this will allow you to cut ties with that person if needed or if necessary. This could be a very big turning point when it comes to self-undoing and being your own worst enemy.
Lunatic Astrology.
Hello, Taurus, sun, moon, and rising sign. We're talking about the month of April 2026, and you're going to feel really, really good. It's going to kind of take a weight off your shoulders that ran through pretty well most of March, where you've been really dealing with some difficult emotions, maybe some difficult unconscious and subconscious patterns, trying to break them. And you may have also felt like there's a lot of heaviness in your month before. But Taurus, this is such a good month for you. Your sign Lord Venus is going to love you up. And we see some awakening of opportunity connected to work and health matters. And all said and done, you're going to like the vibe of this month as well, because we are now finished with eclipses. Jupiter is in direct motion, and we also no longer are dealing with Mercury retrograde. What I would like to say is get ready for some relief, and I'm going to break it down week by week for how this is a much better month than it has been for the 2 months prior. Let's talk about what astrology is and what it isn't. It's a time map. It's not a location map, but it's a map of the time, past, present, and future. And we're looking at your future. We're looking at how each week in April may unfold for you based on your sun, your moon, and your rising sign. Sun sign is your career and purpose, but it's also your core self, your essential nature. It's like the game player who plays a role in a simulation. The simulation character is the ascendant. It's the time of birth, Eastern horizon, rising tropical sign. And that is kind of like the mask you play, the role you play in life, but it's very circumstantially sensitive to change and celestial events. So you definitely want to listen for that. And then we're going to talk about your moon, which is how you think and feel about what's going on in your life, your emotional and mental junk in the trunk there. But it also can represent matters of home. And I always say, like, just watch an eclipse to your natal moon and something is likely to change in your home life significantly, including a move. So today we're going to break it down. We're going to go through each of these weeks for you in the next half hour. If you're new to my channel, my name is Lori Lothian. We're using Western Tropical Zodiac Astrology, not sidereal. If you want to know more about how to time 2026, so it's your best year, not just your best month, I do have videos below that I've recorded for you. There are 12 times 2.5 hours long videos about the best and most important way to navigate 26, like looking at the transits ahead of time. So check out those videos on the PDF guidebook in the description below underneath my video. They're for sale and there's still 8 months left in the year. So why not? If you want to learn how to do astrology to time your best life, I teach Sky Reader, my intro class, for 6 weeks. It'll be 8 weeks this fall. And I also teach a Divine Timing Masterclass coming up in May for intermediate to advanced beginners with really cool 5 very cool timing tools that you can learn to use. But never come to that class unless you've done the intro work already or already are advanced in your astrological knowledge. Everything about me is in the description box under the video. Someone said to me recently, what's a description box? Guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, click the more button, ... and you find my website. You find everything about me. You find everything I'm doing. That's called your description box. Now I'm going to share the chart, the screen, and we're going to whip through this bit by bit together, week by week. Take notes. I talk fast, but I am giving you a lot of content in only 30 odd minutes. As I record this for you Tuesday, March the 10th during a retrograde, welcome to your sky. You'll notice that as we approach April the 1st, okay, and we're going to go back a couple of days to make it clear. The first thing you're going to notice is there's going to be a lunation called a full moon here in Libra on the 1st. And on the 1st, it'll be at 12 degrees of first, second, time zone dependent. It is going to be happening in Libra. It's going to be happening at 12 degrees. And one of the things about this moon is that it's going to open up. We're not on your sign because I lost your time. That's just par for the old course. It's going to be a moon in your sixth house of work, right? This is you. You are a Taurus. Your ascendant is here, or your sun and moon. Let's move us back a few minutes because I'm going to lose you. So, new moon, full moon, full moon, full moon, beginnings, highlighting, an expansion of or a fulfillment of a career or health matter. Basically, you have lots of meanings to the sixth house, but you planted a seed October 21st in the sixth house. That seed that you planted has something to do with wanting to make some changes with your work routines, your health, your pets, your home, including rental property. That new moon was planted last October 21st, and you now are fulfilling the fulfillment seed. So this can be an improvement or an extension of your work success, because on April 1st, second time zone dependent, you're going to have that lunation lighting up the sixth house. One thing I like about it a lot, support from Lord Jupiter. And so there's energetic Jupiter support to this lunation coming from your third house. You could have a job change connected to a new location, a new office space, a new part of the city that you live in. And you may also have some opportunities for professional education or travel related to your work. And for some of you, this can also bring in and some kind of really positive development around career, power, and wealth. Jupiter will activate here, and new contracts to up-level you financially. There is something about this month that's just going to feel really good for the simple reason that Venus is in your sign since the end of March the 31st and will be here all the way until April the 23rd. Venus is the Lord of your sign. When she comes by every year and crosses through the sign that you are, then she gives you a sense of well-being, a sense of beauty and harmony, a sense that life is good and everything can work out for you. You are charming and people like you. It's a good time to put yourself out there for dating, for applying for a job, for getting something that you yearn for, and having Venus support you in receiving that yearning. All right. And as she moves through this part of the sky this month, she's going to give you some blessings that are just beautiful. We'll get to that as we go through the story. Now, you'll notice that on the 1st to the 4th of the month, Mercury will trine Jupiter. Jupiter is all about luck and opportunity, growth and expansion in the third house. Potentially what Jupiter is going to do with Mercury is kind of a good news transit. Something good is trying to happen. So the good news transit could open up something connected to good news about a sibling, good news about a sibling and fertility and children, good news of especially an older sibling, good news or surprising and positive news connected to work and career gains, and something Jupiterian in the third house. This could be that the company you work for is going to move you to a bigger office, to a better location. You could also bring up travel opportunities connected to work or friendships. And both of those are feeling like you're ready to say yes. You're ready to receive whatever this golden opportunity might be. Now, because Mercury is involved and Mercury is the Lord of your second house, this golden opportunity, beautiful moment in time, and it may very well be a professional opportunity, is going to also increase your financial success. But it may require a location change in some of your charts. Some of you might have to move to another location. Certainly not all of you, but some of you will, because this might be another city or town or area of the city you live in. And so there may be something about domestic change of home just for a few in order to receive this golden opportunity, especially true for the rising sign, secondarily the sun in Taurus. Now, on the 3rd and 4th, Venus will square Pluto, something about power and love and the power of love. And what happens is it's about the career sector. This is where till 2044, you're going to become powerful and wealthy, going to show up in your career as some kind of boss, some kind of like mafia boss. You're going to hit a high point, strides of new success. So I want you to take a look at what's going on the 3rd and the 4th of the month when Venus is going to be loving up Pluto, because it's powering you up in your reputation and powering you up in your career space. Certainly, as I said, this is a better month than a lot of months behind you, so you should enjoy that. On the 5th and the 6th of the month, Venus will square Jupiter. It is golden opportunity because we have an exalted sun in the sign of Aries. We have Jupiter exalted in his Cancer travels direct. What is this? Well, sometimes when something happens from the back end of the 12th house, it could involve digital income or borderless revenue and expansion and growth, but it could also mean an opportunity connected to a distant shore or foreign land or far off place for more wealth, prosperity, and success. And Jupiter's hooked up to your career gains as well. So again, some of you might have like, oh my God, I'm getting an opportunity to thrive in my career, but it might be in a locational shift from your current city or neighborhood. You might have a bit of luck or financial gain connected to writing, marketing, selling, and the online world. And this golden opportunity could also invite you to some kind of travel opportunity connected to learning or studying or teaching. And you're going to find that is around the 5th and the 6th of the month that it's most exact. On the second week of the month, Mars will start the game off at the 7th to the 9th by coming into a flowing relationship with the god of surprises. Well, Mars has a job. He likes to help us cut away all that is not necessary and also to make a choice or to decide. And he's deciding about career gains, and he's deciding about long range goals and dreams, and he's deciding about friends and friendship circles and groups of belonging. And because he's going to do all of that, and he is visible in the sky as of March the 17th, he's doing that in concert with Uranus in your sign. You might be the one who wants to break free or break through something, and you may be experiencing a breakthrough moment connected to career gains, social groups and circles of belonging, connections to your sibling one older, and a feeling of freedom, breaking free, breaking through. Those are kinds of the themes that I'm seeing here. Mars, who's going to be working with that surprising Uranus energy, watched over by Venus, so it's very positive. Mars is also the ruling planet of your marriage house, and there may be some very positive surprises connected to your long-term committed love story if you are in one. And he also is the domicile lord of your money that comes from international sources and borderless revenue. And you could have a nice surprising glow up around that as well, if that's a part of your wheelhouse. Mars will also, did I say Mars? I meant Mercury. Oh, guys, it is so Mercury retrograde. So everything I just said is true, but it's Mercury. So I don't have time to edit. I apologize for you guys. I really do. But Mars is going to do the same thing in a bit of time. So everything I just said, like, ignore that. Okay. I apologize. What month am I on? Where am I in this thing? Oh, that was correct. It was Mars and Uranus. So you have to know it's Mercury retrograde. I didn't sleep well, and I'm recording shit that I did already. And I'm so apologetic for my scattered mind right now. 7th to the 9th is exactly what I said, and everything I said was true. On the 12th to the 13th of the month, Venus will sextile Jupiter. She's your ally. She's in your sign. She's doing you a favor. She's doing you a solid. Whatever this is, it's going to be double your luck, double your money, double your success. Venus is going to talk to Jupiter on the 12th to the 13th, and Venus is in really good shape. Okay. We like her here so very, very much. What this could look like on the 12th to the 13th, right? Pretty exact here, building up on the 11th, 12th, 13th. Is going to be a very lucky opportunity. You might be the maker of your own luck. You might be the one kind of doing something to initiate, but whatever it is in your career or in your work or your home life or your love life, Venus is the positive luck and goodness for what you desire to become true. And Jupiter is like, let me throw you a 4-leaf clover. And it could connect you very strongly to matters of your career and work life as well, because we have this miniature trine to the flame of devotion. What long-range goal or plan or dream are you devoted to? What work, career gains, opportunities could emerge right now? And if that was to happen, it feels very much like you got a dream come true or a wish come true. And it may involve help from siblings or friends. It may involve something to do with commercial enterprise, local businesses, or even an opportunity, as I said, for some of you to find some work opportunity that requires some geographical relocation. But I think you should put this on your calendar as a very positive window of celebration and accepting your luck graciously. When I look at Mars moving into Aries, where he's going to be traveling, Mars in Aries, from April the 9th to May the 19th, between April 9 and May 19th, Mars is going to help you cut away all that is not elephant. Whatever you're doing in your life, whether they're mopey bad habits, psychological patterns, karmic vows, or chastity and poverty, whether it has something to do with your own self-undoing addictions and bad habits, including substance abuse and misuse disorders, Mars is really great here for eliminating those problems from your life. You would, with Saturn, be likely to be able to make a hard stop on a habit that's not good for you. This begins on April 9th. This ends May 19th. If you want to do rehab or join a sober community or something like that, examples, this could be exactly the time where those efforts are going to work. Otherwise, Mars back here could also want you to travel to long distance foreign places or distant shores in your own country between April the 9th and May the 19th. Mars is in dignity in his home kingdom, making for this to be sort of and quite positive when it comes to reasons for going off on journeys and adventures. He exalts your house of foreign countries and even pilgrimages. And if you've always wanted to go to the Camino or go off to the ashram or meet a guru in India, I'm going to encourage you to use April the 9th to May 19th to do those kinds of investigations. Mars will co-join Neptune and burn off the fog. What is the fog of confusion, inertia, and delusion that you have been under, especially with addictions? And that's going to be very exact on April 13th. This could be a very big turning point when it comes to self-undoing and being your own worst enemy, as you now can see clearly what it is that you need to do in order to improve yourself in this area. Otherwise, Mars represents change. Neptune represents illusion. If there's somebody in your life that really doesn't have your back, like a hidden enemy, somebody that keeps undermining you, then you're going to be able to clearly see that this person is not a friend. At the end of the day, that's what you'll know. This could be somebody definitely that you think is a friend, right? But they're not really your friend. And this will allow you to cut ties with that person if needed or if necessary. Alrighty, what about the energy of the 14th to the 21st? Week 3 of the month is extremely busy. This is where you definitely want to take notes or stop me, pause, and listen carefully. Because on the 14th, we see Mercury, 13th, 14th, sextiling Uranus. Mercury-Uranus is surprising news. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out because Uranus is also about freedom and breaking free, and he's in your sign. So you might also have a moment where some information or news is coming to you that allows you a measure of freedom. So how in the world do you define freedom? What is freedom to you at this time of your life? Mercury is going to talk to Uranus to say, let's unbuckle the straitjacket or unhook the chains that bind us. And you can be extremely free of something that's been a problem, a friendship that doesn't work for you, a career situation that isn't ideal. You could be free of so many things under the sky. Otherwise, surprising news from a sibling one older, a friend, an ally, or a benefactor. And with Mercury being the ruler of your money house, it could translate as a surprising and positive bit of news or information about a financial good outcome in some area of your life on April the 13th, when it's pretty darn exact, through to the 14th and the 15th. You know I'm going to shoot myself if this keeps up, right? Let's move your ascendant way fucking back. I know some of you are going to criticize me for swearing on camera. Okay, but don't. Okay. Now, we're not going to lose your ascendant time. Okay. Moving past the surprising news is positive and could positively impact your money. We're also, and could actually impact you fertility-wise. Are you going to be pregnant and didn't know it? Or one of your children announcing a pregnancy and you're surprised? That could also be a story going on here. I'm going to tell you that's a story. And you might have to pay attention on the 13th, 14th of the month to the 15th. Mars will sextile Pluto. This is going to be a very powerful energy for you of unstoppable determination and drive, and ambition and will. These two are unstoppable: momentum, drive, and willpower. Now, it can be unstoppable momentum and will connected to your worldly reputation and career success, connected to things you're doing behind the scenes to create success. Like you're working on the back end of projects, you're driving to create something exciting and new in your life. But on the other hand, the same energy between Mars and Pluto, which you'll feel 13th, 14th, and 15th, it could also be something that connects you to that whole idea of what you need to get rid of, your addictions, your patterns, your habits, your self-undoing that are really holding you back. And this is like a kind of authoritative determination like you've never seen before. You're like, an athlete of the willpower, and you could stop anything you want, no matter how addictive or escapist it is. So there's a real kind of, I got this, you're on your A game. Now, because Mars is also the planetary ruler of Aries and of Scorpio, some of this unstoppable determined willpower may translate out of your addictions house over to your significant other or clients or audience, and you could be having some kind of important intensity with your mate, with your significant other, right? So there's that too, but it's positive intensity, not a negative intensity. So we get through that 13th, 14th, and 15th and 16th. Let's see how long it goes. All right. And you might be very determined to secure a long-term marriage. You might be like with Juno up here, like I'm working hard to accommodate things for my marriage partner so that we are together. All right, that this thing is going to work. Or maybe you're also doing career travel connected to long distance shores and places. And that's another narrative. And you're like, you're going for it here. You're on your A game about this travel work, distant shores journey that you're on. We see that on the 17th, 16th, 17th, Mercury and Neptune combine forces because it's in a very deep, like investigative house of one's soul, one's inner life, one's circumspection, one's solitude. You might get an amazing, powerful, divine download dream, some kind of imaginal meditation or trance state that opens up new doors of opportunity. You could use this for choosing hypnosis to get rid of a pattern, addiction, or habit and succeeding. This is a really beautiful short window, but I like it on the 16th, 15th, 16th, and 17th. But on the 17th, the new moon happens at 27 degrees of Aries, and that moon is going to happen as a new beginning in the house of addictions and self-undoing. And maybe also where if any of you are going to have any international or distant shore from your own country move ahead connected to professional advancement, there's that too. So new beginnings and fresh starts here can emerge. And I like it very much because unlike any old new moon here every year, this new moon that occurs on the 17th of the month at 27 degrees of Aries is also opening up this kind of rare energy that Mars and Saturn are here. There's a determination, responsibility, and potency around changing your life so that you are no longer handicapping yourself in some way. You're no longer tripping up yourself. Now, one thing about this moon, of course, is it takes maybe 2 or 3 weeks to show you what it's about, but up to 6 months to fully complete. Don't look for it to be all in a day, but it will be something very important for your story. And you can count on this moon if you have something you need to deeply change at a soul work level, whatever that means to you, right? You're going to be able to do that. On the 18th and 19th, Mercury sextiles Pluto. Mercury likes to uncover what news, information, understanding, or knowledge that Pluto may be hiding, but in a sweet and soft manner on the 18th and 19th of the month. Now, Mercury and Pluto, right? Mercury and Pluto. You start to feel the secrets uncovered, the revelations coming forward, and you'll notice it being quite building up on the 17th, 18th, 19th. And there we go. Could be news or information or understanding around an authority figure, including a father figure. You might uncover news or information about them. There's a small chance as well that there's news about a father or father figure in your family of origin in a hospital setting. We have the Sun Chiron for medical stories in hospitals, Mars, sudden, swift, difficult, elderly, and the Sun being the ruler of the family of origin house, and Pluto being the lord of death in the house of the father. If you have an ailing, aging parent, male, grandparent, male, this could be a time in which that person is getting ready to pass or is in a critical hospital crisis of some sort. I have to be realistic about all of the potentials here. You're going to see it pretty exact around April the 19th. On the 17th to the 20th, some kind of obstruction emerges. So the 17th to the 20th, what happens is that Mars and Saturn will be joining together, especially the 19th. Now, again, it may not be about you. It could be somebody in a hospital, and this is a grim reaper, right? The life force ends. But if it's not that, then what are you doing back here? Are you working on a project for your career that's requiring a lot of alone time and you're burning the midnight oil or something? And this is where you just burn out and hit a wall? That could happen. This could also be hitting a wall in your attempts for sobriety or undoing the undoing. So you're no longer your own worst addictive enemy or self-sabotaging self. And there is that kind of wall. Mars exalts the foreign travel and foreign lands house, and Mars is in the house of distant shores. And there may be some problems with your travel agenda where they come to a hard stop. It's also like the foot on the gas and the brake at the same time. And that means that you might feel frustration about something you're trying to accomplish. You might hit a bit of a setback again if you're working on sobriety, but you're going through a wall or you're going over or around a wall. It's not going to last forever. So I want you to really pay attention to the 17th, 18th, 19th into the 20th for what it is that's frustrating you or causing you to feel like you just can't go where you want to go, that something's blocking your momentum, because it won't last. And then we move past that frustration zone and we get out of it. Don't forget, it may be again about a parental figure, father figure in a hospital and nothing to do with you. And then we move past that to the 20th. And now Mars is going to get outside of Saturn's influence over the next 2 or 3 days. Mercury and Saturn will be together, as you can see, on the 18th to the 21st. Mercury and Saturn would be difficult conversations or information connected to hospitals, jails, isolation, ashrams, distant shores and lands. But at least it's no longer a Mars story in its purity, and Mercury has some information to let you see something more clearly in a way that's important. And it may involve your career matters as well and father figures. Backroom deals and negotiations to win at lawsuits and struggles there, and then success later on. Another story running through the 14th to the 22nd of the month for those of you involved in legal trial situations. Now we shall go forward and we will move into the idea of the 22nd, 21st to the end of the month and the major stories in the last week. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps the channel grow, especially when I'm recording 2 videos times 2 because of my Mercury retrograde bullshit, where Lori didn't know what planet she's on in the last couple of days. I have autistic burnout, but I thought I pulled out of it yesterday. I guess not. Well, what about your Venus Uranus story? Last in a lifetime. Ever since 2019, Uranus has been traveling full on through your sign of Taurus, and you've been noticing that Venus joins Uranus once a year. This would have been more intense if you have early Taurus signage, like in the first 10 degrees. It would have been more likely, between 2019 to 22 that you were really feeling it. So it's all sensitive to the degree of your sun, moon, and rising, but every Taurus kept feeling that the earth was shaking under their feet, but it's a re-identification of Taurus Sun, career and agenda and goals, or father figure issues, Taurus Moon, mother issues, or where your emotions are or where you live, and Taurus Sun, a Taurus rising, your whole character or identity in the simulation has been under a shakeup since 2018, May to October, and then full-time since February, March of 2019. So this is about to end, but Venus is a benefic and she's giving you what you need. She's your benefic, and she's going to join Uranus, and there's going to be a surprise or unexpected development that hits you very personally. Again, Taurus Sun, career matters, father figures. Taurus Moon, nest and home and mother matters. And Taurus rising, anything about your character in the simulation. It's pretty standalone because it doesn't really majorly impact any other planet as it happens. So let's put it into exactitude for you. It's exact on the 23rd of April. It begins to build up on the 21st. What this might look like based on this chart, having a moon here at the end of Cancer with exalted Jupiter, there may be a very positive, unexpected development regarding siblings, childhood friends, the local neighborhood, your online social media world, travel opportunities and learning opportunities, and a positive, unexpected development. And you will be pleasantly surprised if I have my say on this one rather than shocked and odd. You'll be pleasantly surprised by whatever this is. Could be very healing for some kind of chironic wound that you may have been dealing with around your mother and mother stories as well, because Chiron's trying the moon on the day of the actual conjunction. But it also could be very, very healing of yourself undoing in addictions with a positive turnaround story. So Jupiter is blessing your third house and the moon is in her kingdom. And they're all looking at Venus and Uranus with a hit me with a good surprise. So take a note of a good surprise that day. I think you're going to like it. And it could be also related to your work, getting an up level, getting a new office space, getting some kind of perk in the workspace as well. Like a new nest, like a corner office with a view, but something good is trying to happen also in the work environment under the spell of Venus Uranus that will be occurring for you on the 21st to the 23rd. On the 24th to the 26th, the sun will square Pluto for some power struggles. Well, the sun is in your sign. You're the one with the, the dominant power here, and you're going to push against your career space or a boss or authority figure. And so you have some kind of pushback against some dominating influence, or in some cases with Juno, a business partnership in career matters or a marriage partner, and some kind of when push comes to shove, you're shoving hard. So you seem to have a bit of an upper hand, right? Because the sun is in your sign, Venus is there protecting you. So if you want to push back against some situation professionally or with a father figure or with a spouse, this is going to be a place where you can succeed in winning that little bitty battle on the 24th to the 26th. On the 26th to the 27th, Mercury squares Jupiter. Mercury and Jupiter trined in the first 3 or 4 days of the month of April, but on the 26th to the 27th, they square. So there's a bit more tension as opportunities arise, a little bit more sense of urgency around that opportunity. Now, Mercury will give you information or news, and Jupiter will give you opportunity. What could this square be? This is a great question. It could be an opportunity connected to distant shores and foreign lands, travel, learning, education, online social media and business opportunities from people abroad. But it's sounded like a news story here. Something wants to be told or said or communicated to you connected to Jupiter. Now, Jupiter is the fertility god and rules children. I want you to know that. It doesn't have to be your children. Maybe a sibling's having children, or there's some kind of story about children going on here. And you'll notice that this intensity, the square intensity, is pretty exact right here around April the 26th. So on April the 26th, what is this golden opportunity with intensity, or what is this positive development or news that has intensity? And with the moon in Virgo in a condition of fall, I don't know, it may have to do with fertility stories between you and a partner, or even fertility stories that involve one of your children. And that could be the intensity of the secret news that is being delivered to you soon. The last part of the month is all about Venus in a sextile to Neptune and also trine to Pluto. Now, keep your eyes on the fact that Venus entered on the 24th of April through to May 19th, your second house. This is going to be a glow up financially. So you're going to go into the last week of the month feeling like money wants to money you up in surprising, unexpected, and wonderful ways, and connected to power and wealth and career, connected to your, potentially to backroom deals and negotiations that you want to make solid and real. And maybe all I can say is that somehow money looks good on you. Some of you might have to travel or move or change your location or deal with international influences in order for this lucky career money story to unfold, but you begin to feel it opening its doors on April 24th and through to May the 19th. But the acute story on the 26th to the 29th is basically Venus making a miniature grand trine that blesses you. And you can see that's the top of your sky, for goodness gracious, and your money house, and Venus rules your work house. So if you've been struggling financially connected to work, career, and profession and reputation matters, your professional success story, your monetary story, and your work story is on the mend and on the rise. And you'll start to feel that from the 24th of April to May 19th, but the real juice, the 24th of April till May the 1st. Hopefully that was helpful and useful, and you can use this time map to navigate your month of 2026 April. Thanks for your patience with me as I have Mercury retrograde recording window, and I am really feeling a little overwhelmed lately. And so I had some kerfuffles with the software, but we got it done. So Taurus, appreciate you. Substack is where I write weekly world astrology columns about the dastardly events in our world from a place of unplugged realism. And you can check me out under my description box below. I also talk quite a lot about, in Patreon, I talk about world events as well. You might join that community, but we also have 4 monthly classes. You can sign up for any of them, depend on your tier, or group meetings and classes and fun and questions and answers. And you can also join me here on my members only community, where I do live streams for you guys. And we also talk about all kinds of stuff unplugged that I really can't get through. And I do mini tutorials and classes for you here as well. You can see there's many ways to find me. So go ahead and find me. Not doing readings anymore. Don't email me. I will be putting a page on my website with referred astrologers that I trust. I just don't have time anymore to do that. I'm trying to write a book. I'm trying to do multiple things. I'm an octopus. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. Ciao, ciao. Good month ahead, Taurus.
Lunatic astrology.